The sudden declaration of martial law caused severe chaos in South Korea. Approximately 2.5 hours after the proclamation, the National Assembly passed a resolution calling for the lifting of martial law. And early this morning, President Yoon Suk-yeol rescinded his declaration.
사전 예고 없는 비상계엄 선포로 한국에 극심한 혼란이 빚어졌습니다. 선포 약 2시간 반 만에 국회에서 비상계엄 해제 요구 결의안이 통과됐고 오늘 새벽 윤석열 대통령은 비상계엄 선포를 해제했습니다. Okay, so we have a chat room and we had one of our PDs text us very late in the evening.
Yeah.
And so we we all heard about it. So, boy, this was like this whole day has been just rather crazy, hasn't it?
Right. It has been, we might use the word surreal.
Surreal.
Surreal. It doesn't feel real, at least at first, yeah?
Right.
It was news that I don't think many people were expecting, but around 10:23 p.m. last night, of course, martial law was proclaimed, and for about 155 minutes, Korea was under martial law until the National Assembly was able to get together, have a vote, and kind of compel President Yoon Suk-yeol to take that proclamation away.
Okay. Martial law is a word that we don't use often because it doesn't happen often.
Right.
Yeah, martial, M-A-R-T-I-A-L,
Yes.
martial law, 계엄이죠. And Korea is not new to this idea, this concept. It happened decades ago, but for a lot of the young people, it was probably quite surprising.
Right, yes. Of course, the younger people maybe do not have a very clear memory of this, but like you said, the last time that martial law was proclaimed was in 1980. So that was 44 years ago, and that was to do with the pro-democracy movements that were happening in Korea at the time. But like you said, martial law, of course, law, L-A-W, is talking about the law, the rules of the country, right? This martial here is talking about fighting or weapons. So this martial law is about soldiers being the police, essentially, right? But you can also see this word martial in words like martial arts, right?
Yes, that's right.
무술. So taekwondo is considered, or taekwondo is the American pronunciation of taekwondo, right?
Yes, right.
That is a martial art because it's about attacking and defending, sometimes using weapons.
Right.
So martial law is the word we'd use for like keom.
Right. Okay, so the order has been lifted.
Yes.
Okay, it has been, he said no. But however, though, what comes after?
So there is a lot of talk now. So the martial law has been lifted, but politically there are many different roads that this could go. So the articles of impeachment have been submitted by 6 opposition parties. So that means that now there will be an investigation into the events that happened, and eventually there will be a vote, and that vote could take place as early as the 6th. So it will take a while to get through everything. But 윤석열 대통령 탄핵 소추안을 국회에 제출했습니다. 이르면 6일 표결에 들어간다고 하네요.
Okay.
So it could be as early as the 6th. It could take longer. But I think no matter what side of the aisle, whatever political party you support, there are a lot of questions that people have. So the investigation, the interviews that I'm sure will have to take place will take some time.
And it seems that the commentaries are pouring out from international news agencies commenting about what has happened and their concern.
Yes.
So this has become a global issue.
Right. And it happened in real time. Of course, like foreign media outlets like CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, just to give American examples, they have reporters here. So they were able to report directly overseas as it was happening, which is a little bit different than it was in 1980.
Yes.
We didn't have social media that could spread the news so quickly.
That's right.
So the West or the international community was finding out pretty much at the same time that we in
Yeah.
Korea were. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I think we learn a new term today, martial law, 계엄이죠. And of course, the National Assembly is 국회.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see what will happen in the coming weeks and months.
Well, I'm sure we will have a lot to report on in the next couple of days.
Absolutely. Okay. Tarim says, "Hi guys, I'm sure most of us panicked big last night. I was no exception. How are you all holding up? I almost stayed up all night watching the news and streamers informing people about the situation and barely managed to get out of bed this morning. Gosh, I need some comfort food for dinner tonight." You are not the only one, Tarim님.
Yes.
My friend went to bed at 4 a.m.
I went to bed quite late as
You
well.
did too.
Well, all of this news was coming out, and I think a lot of us got an education on the Korean Constitution.
Yes.
헌법에 관련된 교육 많이 받은 것 같아요.
I think so.
Like, what is the definition of this word?
Yeah.
What can
What
the
does-
assembly do? What is the president able to do? It was definitely confusing for a few hours.
Sure.
And very stressful indeed.
Absolutely. All right, let me read that again. The sudden declaration of martial law caused severe chaos in South Korea. Approximately 2.5 hours after the proclamation, the National Assembly passed a resolution calling for the lifting of martial law. And early this morning, President Yoon Suk-yeol rescinded his declaration.